Yeah, welcome to Lushfoil Photography Sim, which is a really pretty game. I talked about it a little bit earlier, but I've heard about this game, and I didn't truthfully know a lot. Which I want to just check it, if it's audible. Let me turn it up a little bit. Price of cost, I don't think there'll be enough units to demand. I don't meet demand. Maybe, maybe not. They've been stocking a lot of demand recently, so we'll have to decide. But they've been really, like, out of any console, this is the one where they've been really pumping demand, or supply. Sorry. Yeah, this is Lushfoil Photography Sim. It's a game about walking. And obviously photography. Developers spent a lot of time trying to get the graphics down right for this game. But as you can see, God, look at this. Somebody likes to go out in nature a lot. I can manage it. I love this. Can't beat the real thing, of course. But, you know, you do what you can. Pretty. It's not the only photography game I've played, but this one is considerably more straight-lined. I think cameras are magical, by the way. Yes. Not? That's what I figured. Fucking portrait and landscape. Ah, I see. Click to draw focus. Manually just focus. That's handy. Oh my god. Oh fuck. ISO? F-stop? Oh, okay, there's a lot of settings here. But I don't know if I remember what the ISO... there's like a... There's... I don't remember a lot of the photography that I know. I know some. There's aperture... It depends on how much light you let in, how quickly the shutters work. God, I'm... whatever. I'll have to figure it out. I have to remember. I might look it up. Base lower camera. Interesting. But very holy music. You remember photos by pressing the P key. Very pretty. Sometimes I'm blown away by the beauty of nature that I'm in real life, and I try to get photos. I can never quite capture what I see, of course. But also, I don't really have a camera that can then fine-tune as much. When you think of a photographer and you think, oh, whatever. For them to truly get the thing they see is difficult. Much more than I think people sometimes realize who've never tried it themselves. Oh, okay, fair enough. We really will have to see. And not to harp on the Switch demand, but yeah, it might be a high. I'm hopeful that I can get one relatively soon. I'm gonna try as much as I can. I'll be very upset if I can't. I don't know what I'll do, man. I'll just be crying. Seaweg, Giro del Lago. I was gonna say about cameras though, it's magic. When I see a camera and you just see something through the other side, I think the most magical thing is seeing a perspective you can't capture yourself. There was a time when I had a camera up, pointing down, and I wasn't in this shot, and then I was looking at it and seeing things move through it. It's crazy. So there's a level of fascination I think I have with cameras. Whoa. Oh, it's the shadow of the tree, I see. It's like, what the? I already forgot the controls. I don't like the autofocus. I could do portrait mode. Oh god, I fucked up the focus. No, the autofocus works pretty well, actually. I take that back. I could really fuck it up if I want to. The twins will execute you at June 6, 12 p.m. What the... What? I don't like that. That's scary. I mean, I wouldn't be thrilled if someone sent me that message. I'd assume it wasn't real. I don't know. Maybe my life would be more interesting if that message was sent to me. You know the funny thing about this is you would still see more signs of life in at least the places I go. It's very difficult not to see, even if it's like litter, trash. You almost can't help it, but you see that everywhere. No matter where you go, you're gonna find that of some signs of life somewhere. And this is not the most photorealistic game in the world, but it is very pretty regardless. And it does a good job of capturing a real wood, a real forest, which is very hard, and a lot of games don't manage it. And even this has some flaws if you look at all these trees. Getting each tree to look distinct and different. Because they all are. Every single tree in the forest is very different looking. They have similarities, but if you really spend time and you look, you think of how marvelous it is that everything looks how it does. Every little bit is so distinct looking if you really start focusing. And games can't match that very well because are you going to model every single blade of grass unique and different? No. You can't do that. You make it distinct looking by pre-rendering. Well, can you? It's just difficult. I know there is some form of progression in this game, and I don't know the full extent of it. But in order to, like, you have to do take certain photographs to get to new areas. Which I know apparently some people don't like in review-wise. I think I'm fine with that. It's probably meant to make you spend more time in a specific area, not just jump from one to the other, but I could see how that could annoy people. It was pretty outside today. It's nice and warm. I really feel that spring has come. But it would be nice to go outside. I did the other day. I talked about it a little bit. It was exhausting, but it was fun. The tree is identical, but no one is around to criticize it. Is it really worth fixing? That's the question, isn't it? Wave I, wave K. I don't think I know what that means. It's something I thought about when you talk about, like... apologies. A game like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I noticed it, I think, in Junon, but there's all these areas that you're going to spend less than 5 seconds in. You know, at that. And there's shelves, all with modeled things, placed there delicately. Everything is so, like, you could look around and marvel at what's there. And you think to yourself, man. Huh? Oh, yeah. There they are, huh? I guess these are challenges. There's a boat. A house. Another house. Rocks. Bridge. And a clearing. Keep that in mind. But you think about how much detail they put into those small things that nobody notices. But if they didn't do that, someone would notice. Someone would notice that it's not there. Or that the game itself doesn't have that. It's not about the small stuff. It's not about that single shelf with some stuff put into it, you know? But it's more about that no matter where you go in the game and what you see, they all have that level of detail. So whatever you do look at, whatever you do decide, really get close into, has something, you know? That's what sells the illusion. And that's tricky, to say the least. And it's a lot of effort. The more detailed you try to go, the more effort it becomes, but... you know, it's a big decision whether it's worth it or not. Sorry, everything... I feel because of the music, everything I say sounds a lot more grand. Oh... Well, that's very fun now, isn't it? You gotta catch it, but... I like that. That's great. And they fly pretty well. I've never thrown a good airplane, I don't think. A paper airplane, at least. It's tricky, you know? To get a really nice one. I'm just casually littering out here. God, I pressed space to jump. So habitual. Yeah, but it is kind of marvelous that people can do that and make it so hand-detailed. I think the more detailed you go, it's like... You could call it a god creating their own universe. In a sense. You know, how detailed do you want to go? You going down to the blade of grass? You're going to go down to the grain of sand? You want to go down to the atoms that make up each item? No. Obviously that's excessive, but deeper you go, the more you really are crafting a world at its basest parts. There's something marvelous about that. I think that's part of what's so fun for people about making games. Or crafting a world, no matter how people feel about it. And maybe it's more with first person games than third, but you are crafting a space that is still tangible in some senses. People to exist and move around it, and that's really neat. Whether it's more real or more believable than others, it depends. Whether it's good or not, it depends, but I don't know, I think there's something really nice about that. Also, I get this probably isn't everyone's kind of game. Sometimes you just want to walk around. Again, this is very much for someone like me who does do this in the real world. No music, just me out in the woods, looking at trees, maybe looking at the river, hearing the birds and the bees, bugs, the cicadas. And not just walk through it, but I think sometimes you have to stop moving. That's when I start noticing things a lot more. The forest can seem very still till you stop. It's still because you're moving, but when you stop, everything seems to move. It teems with life. It's very nice. If you do that, if you go out hiking, take a moment to just sit down, put your back against a tree. Just soak in it. Realize how loud it actually is. How much is in it. You know, it's crazy. It's wonderful. I think I'm very fortunate my parents, and probably more my dad, took me and my sister out to the woods, or out hiking, or out to nature reserves and stuff. As a kid. Whether I liked it or not, it got me into nature to a degree. I'm no naturist. Only been camping once with my dad a long time ago, but not everyone has as much of a love of nature, and I'm glad I do. I wish more people did. And not just a love of it, but a respect for it, you know? Did I go this way? Oh, I did go this. I think this was a shortcut. I didn't realize. I really am walking in circles, aren't I? Clouds broken by light. Or cloud broken by light. Cloud strife? Sorry, I apologize. I don't know, it almost like revives me in a sense, going outside. Can't spend too, like when people say touch grass, silly term, but you don't want to spend too much time inside, and I do. To be frank, I don't go out much. Not just outside in the woods or anything, or in nature, but in general. And I should more. Huh. What the hell was that? I didn't actually mean to do that. Aperture priority, shutter priority. Manual. Menu help tutorials. Actually, is there a full camera tutorial? I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, I actually want to do an in-depth one if I can. The left arrow keys, they change selection, up and down to adjust. Shutter speed, measured in seconds. This is a good photography tutorial. Shutter speed adjusts the amount of time the shutter is open when taking a photo. Shorter values are ideal for a sharp image. Longer values enable you to create motion blur. Yeah, that makes sense. You open it for very short amount of time, let the light in, let the image expose, close it again. But the longer you keep it open, the more things have a chance to move around. It makes sense. There's a logic there. The Terraria, Man, he can't believe he exploded. He didn't even get time to finish. Aperture adjust the amount of depth of field blur. That's right. Okay. Yep. I remember now. Lower results in more blur. Higher values will sharpen areas that are not in focus. I think I tend to, and I think a lot of people tend to like a lot of out of focus. That the limited focus. Focus, what's in scope is focused. Because in real life, you're only focused on one thing. You don't notice it, but everything else isn't in focus to you. So that's more like real vision. Manual. Just the amount of noise the image is ISO. Only includes exposure when shooting in manual. That's right. Certain ISO is better for nighttime, but you get flaws. The exposure here's the triangle I was talking about. The exposure of an image is determined by the combination of shutter speed, aperture, and ISO. Both shutter and aperture, your image will remain perfectly exposed. Shutter priority will automatically adjust your aperture automatically. Aperture priority will automatically adjust your shutter speed. It's done to compensate for the difference in exposure. Yeah, that's because if you change one, the other one needs to change to balance it. If you change one of these values, the other two should compensate, so that does it without you having to think about it. Exposure is the slider can use to offset your exposure. Shutter priority and aperture will always target the exposure set on the slider. Might not bother with manual just because it might be tricky, but at least some of this stuff is useful to know. These are not affected by each other. Adjust range of brightness and darkness. Post-processing. WB, or white balance. I truthfully aspire for what's outside, and it's hard to get that. Ooh! Sorry. 10mm fisheye, 14mm, 24mm. Now we're hitting something. Zoom lens, unrealistically enhanced lens. Might stick with I like the 14mm. It looks nice. Picture quality. Oh, there's the filters. I was like, huh. I'm good with none. Photo resolution. Well, just the lag incurred when pressing the shutter. And then you can reset. Okay. Very advanced. Sorry, I didn't mean to waste time like that, but there's a lot you can do. I really aspire for greatness. What do I have? Well, actually, what do I have selected right now? If I look at something like, let me put this in focus. Kind of hard to tell the difference, I think. I'm not very good at it. Again, I like photography and it interests me, but I don't actually even own a real camera. Not that you can't do a lot with a very good phone these days. Although for me, I need a phone that's better than what I've got, I think. If I do this... I see. Yeah, I see. I have to change these things to keep it in time, I think. There we go. Yeah, I want to keep the shutter speed low because I want nice crispy images. That might be nice. A little less bright, but it's fine. Nice. Okay, beautiful. I'll keep those as my settings. How interesting. Speaking of which, there was a bridge, wasn't there? I don't think this is the right bridge, but it is a bridge. Hmm. So if I... crouch? You know, it just occurred to me that I can't crouch. Or if I do, I don't know how. It's a sprint button. This looks like it might be like here maybe, but like right here? Maybe? That looks different though. Maybe this way? God, I can't even tell. I'm bad at this. Like knowing me, I don't know, this must be it. By some capacity. Yeah, but I have to like... get real close with it. That? Oh my god, look at that. You see what I'm getting at, right? No, that doesn't work either. Yeah, I feel like I should be able to... Might be the lens. I feel like I should be able to crouch, goddammit. Maybe I need the zoom lens. That might be what I'm doing wrong. There we go. That's better. Well, I mean, not quite, actually, because I'm still, like... Yeah, I don't know. I feel... Oh, whatever. This is probably the wrong... I don't even... It's probably the wrong bridge. Suppose I shouldn't really stress about it and just walk around, right? Look at that mountain, man. I do feel like if I'm walking out, I tend to walk a little too quickly. Even to the point where I get tired. Like, I'm walking. I'm not running. Why? I shouldn't tucker myself out by being a little too quick-stepped around these what are ostensibly hard places to walk on. But I do it anyways, because it's just my walking speed, I think. Hiking, which is just walking around, can be deceptively difficult if you don't do it often. Or even if you do it often. You're going up, you're going down, you're going a lot of places. It is not like walking on a track or something. I think most people know that, but at the same time it's like, huh, you forget, I think. Round bridge. You know, this is the actual spot. I should have figured. That makes sense. Oh, this is another tutorial. Wow. Oh, there we go. It's like, how do I do this? There's a lot of tutorial, man. Focus distance will be maintained after using autofocus. Huh. Interesting. It just makes everything blurry. Gotta press the wrong buttons. Do this and then go back up a bit. Yeah, these might just be areas to visit. I might not have to worry about it. There's no wrong way of playing this game, I don't think. Don't underestimate it at anime conventions. Oh, fair. I mean, I just walk around endlessly in anime conventions. I don't even know why or how. Like, you really get more tired, and it's like... I think I'm just antsy. I'm not one who likes to stand still. I don't think. This and then back up. You know what I actually want to do? I want to zoom in here. As much as I can, and then, guess that's the greatest I got. Oh, that's better. Notice there's flash as well, but a little colder. There we go. And let's reset the settings. There we go. Can I Dutch angle? Can I Dutch angle? I don't remember. Yes! Actually, I can. Amazing! Right. Okay, I want to be a little more like here. Maybe it'd be like... How Dutch we going here, man? God, I want to rotate my mouse, which you can't... I guess you could do that if you had a Switch mouse controller, ironically, with the gyroscope. Mice should have gyroscopes, in my personal opinion. Beautiful. Actually, no, if I'm going to do this, I need to make it darker again. White balance. Bring that shit down. No, I don't need that. Here we go. Higher ISO would be nice. Not so extreme. Actually, that's too much. Perfect. Look at that awesome photo. All right, beautiful. Yeah, this is fun. This is actually quite fun. Again, cameras are fun. I've always felt so. Mm. Although I'm fumbling on the controls a little bit. Man, it's so nice, actually. It's lovely. I don't want to get, like, so dark and creepy with it. I've talked about the tons of little weird huts and houses I've found. Very strange. Why is this like Shrek's cabin? Where am I? Oh, yeah! Sorry. Oh, look, dude. Look at these fucking leaves. Sorry, for a second there, I was like, those are real. Talk about it. Talk about feeling it. Hell yeah, dude. This is the fucking shit. Nice, okay. Can I get my other camera back? What the fuck? There we go. That's their idea of a digital camera right there. No, you know. Not a good digital camera, but a digital camera. Oh, man. Guess throwing them straight up is a bad idea. Yeah, fucking fuck this lake up. Yeah! There people go to, like, lake houses in, like, a lot. I've never been. You know, this fisheye is actually kind of quite nice. I want it to get lower. Perfect. Well, yeah, this is like fucking transcendental music right here. Like the 50. I know I'll make it brighter. Perfect. I'm always resetting because I don't want to keep my settings. I mentioned it before, but there actually are a set of ruins near where I live. Paper mill ruins, but not like ancient civilizations. Although, I mean, technically, it's an older group, a settlement. People used to live there, and they're gone, right? They used to live on the side of this river. 100 years ago, maybe? Not very long. Not long enough to call it ancient, I suppose. But long enough for it to have existed and no longer exist. You know, people didn't settle there. We didn't get like a town on the river at that location specifically. Just elsewhere. Feeling any motion sickness? Actually, no. I'm good, but thanks for asking. It's obviously lonely going out like this in the woods. But I mean, it's with people, it's a different experience. It's not really about the forest as much, it's about you and them in the forest. Whoever they or them might be. Which doesn't mean that's not enjoyable and sharing it with people. And also, I think sometimes I forget that you don't have to talk with other people in their presence to be with them. You can just go together and enjoy the silence. I know that's obvious, right? But I'm not always the most comfortable with silence. I am an awkward fellow, some capacity. Like, even further. There we go. Whoa, that tree's fucking moving, dude. But yeah, I'm not... I don't have to always speak, of course, but it's hard sometimes. And I always feel a little bit of pressure, I think. I feel like there's I guarantee you a whole bunch of reasons why I'm not always comfortable with silence. And I have to kind of accept that and get used to it. On one-on-one situations. It's social anxiety, isn't it? And I'm just worried that I'm, like... I don't want to be boring. I don't want to, like, annoy the other person I'm with. I don't want to... And I don't always know how much is enough. You know? I like this one. That's nice. But it's I don't know, it depends. What's nice about streams? Keeps the mind focused on the silence, off the silence and the thoughts that come with it. I mean, I don't mind that. I'm fairly comfortable in my own head for the most part. I don't know if I always was. It depends. I mean, there was a lot of time where there were, you know, periods where I did feel tremendously lonely, I think. And everyone gets lonely sometimes, and I still do. I've always had that, I think, as a part of it. But as of right now, in my current day-to-day, I suppose I feel lucky. I don't feel as bad. I feel quite, I don't know, happy, I suppose. Doesn't mean it's not there. It's ever present, but... Oh, there is a way up here. Depends. But I've never been against my own... I've never been too far against... There's very few times where I can't handle myself in my own head. Which I suppose I can say I'm lucky for. Are my blowns... My blowin's flowing up. Sorry, I've been staring. There are times when I could deal with thoughts fine. I'm guessing that means it's not always dealable now. So then, you know. Sucks. Hopefully it gets easier. That's all life is dealing, isn't it? And enjoying what good times there are. You're a retired man, that's fair. But I'd like to think there will come a time where it does get easier. In whatever capacity. Whatever that actually means. Although... Yeah? Things also... things have always fluctuated, and I'm sure that will for me. One day I'm gonna move, and all the people I know here won't be with me. And that's gonna be very rough, I think. I'm not good at meeting people. In a different city, in a different town, in a different state, even. How will I cope? I don't know if I will. Not well, anyway. Way of changing the focus with the right click plus the mouse wheel. I thought so. Yeah. Being outside is kind of about you in the woods, I think. You in the forest, you in the nature. But I can't... It probably would be nice to bring someone into it. I've got a very silly idea of people sometimes. And of myself and how I act. I was talking to people at work, and it's easy to talk to other people and realize, yeah, it's me. It's the problem. I'm very overtly self-aware about everything. I wish I could get over it. Wish I could be less self-aware. I wish I could just do what I want in a public space, not within reason, of course. I can't. No, I can't. I think just in general around people, I kind of hold back a little bit. There were 2 wolves inside me. I was thinking about that today for some reason. I was thinking of there are times when I'm deadly serious, and sincere, and stern, and forceful presence, but very serious. And other times when I'm very lackadaisical, very silly, very smiley, whereas the other times I might have a more straight, serious expression. I don't know which one comes out or when, but it changes. Maybe everyone's like that. The sun. What I want to do is move the camera down and point it up. But I don't think I can. I don't have full motion, I don't think. I want to be able to, like, do this, basically. But I don't know if it lets me. Just angle my ass. Yeah, that doesn't really... I think I read too many silly romance. I can picture the underbrush, maybe. Not on purpose, alright? Jeez. My fingers slip on the trigger, the shutter. But it happens. I was gonna say I was almost late to stream yesterday because I was reading just something silly. It's a little manga about people who get suddenly married, start living together, and the relationship that builds up afterwards. It's very nice. It's very sweet. I read every chapter that was available, which was 108 or something, yesterday and today. It's funny how that's the kind of stuff, or just I'm honestly reading in general, but that stuff is stuff that like actually prevents me from like getting to work on time and things. There's never anything else. It's always books, weirdly, or stories that are things that I can like. Oh, just another page, another little bit, and then it's been an hour, and it's like I needed to go to work like 30 minutes ago, and I'm still sitting here in my underwear on my bed or whatever. Stories can be compelling, but I don't know. I don't think it's giving me a warped view, but I mean, it's given me a very silly romantic view. I guess if I wanted to do, no, it wouldn't have worked. Yeah, I wish this game had a crouch button. In real life, I have a crouch button. In real life, I get down all the time to get like photos of very specific angles. You know? What? How did I? Oh, I found the water. I see. Bastard. Yeah, that's my one complaint with this game right now, is it doesn't... there actually isn't nearly as much control over which direction your camera's pointing as I would have hoped. Mostly on the lower levels. But I'm the only guy who likes to, like, scrabble in the mud for a perfect photo. A downward looking up angle. That's nice. Yeah, but again, I've never had any real experience with any kind of relationship, so I don't know. I would not know what to do. I still don't. I don't know if I ever will. I've said it before. I should put more effort and I should try. But I have such a silly romantic view. I almost imagine one day I'll bump into somebody. That'll be the start of something very lovely and sincere. I also know I'm going to be incredibly shy about it. And very slow. And careful. For my sake and for theirs. You know, I don't think I'm going to be able to be... I don't think I could manage more than that. I don't like talking about human nature and say, oh, it's not in my nature. That's silly. But it's not really in my nature. I don't like talking about human nature or my nature because that shit can change. You know? That can always change. So it's silly to focus on it, I think. Sometimes I just want to go down. I don't always get the Dutch angle, man. Huh, I actually am clearing out some of these. I didn't realize. Strange enough. I keep pressing space to jump. But it's silly to compare anything to something silly like a romance. A romance manga or something, you know. Unrelated, but I feel like it makes me want to... Makes me want to write more. God, this makes me think of going to... the Redwoods, Yellowstone. Deer Woods. Half Dome. A lot of beautiful places I've been to. I've been to a lot of national parks. Not everyone, and not enough, but I've been to a lot. And there are more... There are even more than I think people realize having not been there. Once you go, I think you realize. I will say about the romance thing, it's not expectations for others. You know, I haven't even been to Castle Rock Beach in Australia. Where's this, by the way? Let me spend a little more time, and I'm gonna go to Japan next. Oh my God, Japan! But it's never it's expectations for myself and how I should be and do. Fast travel tutorial. Use the camera to take a photo, and this will save your location in camera settings. Open the photo browser. Huh. Well, that's handy. What is the photo? What is the photo I just took? This one? Huh. Wow, that's super handy. What a fun way of doing fast travel. That's silly. It's handy. Yeah, the guy who made this clearly knew what kind of game they were making. The person who made this... Bird. God, I fucking love the sound of birds. So much. I really do. You don't notice that the tree's moving until you stop. You never do. Hey, bird. I feel like I've walked... Have I walked around this entire lake? Man. There we go. I was like, I don't know how to do this. A 2 out of 10, 2 out of 8, 2 out of 4. So yeah, you have to unlock the new areas. Which for some is a bit of like, oh, really? But I don't think I mind too much. Whoa. When you look at a still just like this, obviously if you start moving around, you can see all the flaws in the less detailed areas. If you just look at this right here, it's gorgeous. It really is pretty. For what is it? Currently it's on sale. A $10 game on Steam. You know, not made by a AAA company, just made by some wacko on the internet. I think I'm going to start writing more. I like writing. To a degree. And it's something I think I can be good at. It's something that I know impacts a lot of people. And I'd like to do that if I can, so maybe I should. My own personal fantasies of writing a novel, getting it published immediately, and having some major success from one book. If that could ever happen. Dominoes. Kinda? You know, boundary sense. It seems like it'll take you out of it, but I guess I appreciate the... So I see this copyright-free music tab. I guess that's already out of the picture. Who cares? I don't even make money off videos or streams anyways. Never have. Take it. I don't care. Just don't ban it. And if I get banned, it's only in Russia for some reason. It's never, like, in terms of videos not being able to be shown. And I'm like, I can lose a couple of Russian people. I've always wanted to go to Japan. I wonder about... Because normally, if you go through an arch, you're not supposed to walk right through the middle of it. But these aren't traditional arches in front of shrines. The big arch in front of a shrine. You're not meant to walk to the middle. It's not for you. That's for those you can't see with your eyes. You give them space to pass. You walk by the sides. In this case, though, it's not the same. Is it? Oh. Wait, what? Did I do like a secret thing by accident? Because I didn't mean to. I just liked the photo. Yeah, I've always wanted to go to Japan. I'd love to. I think I'd like it. My fledgling Japanese knowledge might become useful. It'd be fun. I've heard everybody who's been is just that it's great. It's wonderful. They'd want to go back. As soon as they leave, they want to go back. Japan is not some perfect country. It has a lot of flaws. But there are a lot of appealing aspects about it that I get why people want to go. And I get why people would want to live. However, it is a different country than my own. As much as people, I can, like, decry the flaws of my own country. And right now, there are a lot. In different aspects, it's still mine. Its culture is my culture in many ways. You don't realize how different other cultures are until you have to go there and live with them. Or if you study them. And really realize that they're very different. And I think some people underestimate that. And how you will be a stranger in a strange land. I don't think people... Some people just forget that. It's like... A QR code. I mean, I'm sure some people understand that, but a lot of people, like... I almost feel like they underestimate the differences that you might have. So I'm going to scan this because I'm very curious what this is. Oh, it's right there. No, it's not in focus. Come on. It can detect it. Come on, camera, you got this. It had it for like half a second. Oh, it's a Twitter link that I have to wait till it loads. I don't have Twitter anymore, so hopefully I can actually see it. Man, And they're photos. I think they're real photos. It is, yeah, it said in Kyoto for real. It's the dev. Not fake photos, real photos of them going to this real location. Which, again, are nicer than any photo I've taken, but also... I've said it before. A real... the real thing can't be competed against. Even how as lovely as this game is, it can't compete with real life. And it knows that, and everyone knows that. I mean, that's like the most obvious statement you could make, but... I'm trying to think about what I actually like taking photos of in real life. It's not often. Very specific things. In this game, that's what this whole thing is about. But sky, maybe. It's usually about how things look, lighting-wise. How the sun... Oh, this is nice. It is funny, when I think it's so bright and lovely outside and I go in the woods, it's like a lot darker. It's like I want to be out in public. I want to be out in the sun. But I also want to be in the woods. What do you got? Oh, that looks good. That's the one thing that I really like. I don't drink sodas anymore. Not really. So if all the options I have is different kinds of tea and coffee, fuck yes. Like, so much. And also, there's vending machines everywhere. I'm always drinking. I'm always drinking stuff. I like liquids. What? Santa Cruz. Wait, that's the Santa Cruz logo. The classic Santa Cruz photo. Sorry, if you're not aware of the Santa Cruz, you know what? I'm gonna pull up Santa Cruz logo right now because I recognize that. That's a common. I wonder if that was actually there. If someone got like. If someone actually, or I guess someone in Japan put that there. This classic logo. Santa Cruz skateboarding. I'm not a skateboarder, but I have a little bit of somewhat mediocre, depthful knowledge of skating, skateboarding subculture. A little bit. I don't have much of a shutterbug in me, but when I was in England, I took photos of pigeons or ducks. I mean, pigeons and ducks are both valid. I like pigeons. I like ducks. I love ducks. God, this makes me think. There's videos about ambient exploration. People will just be like, oh, it's 5 in the morning in Japan. Let me walk past the Philosopher's Trail. And they're just going past Japan in the quiet early morning when no one's really around. It is beautiful. I think that's one part I love about it, is you go to all these different places, and it's not everywhere. If you live in a city, it'll be very different. But it feels like there's so much nature just in the ordinary locations in Japan. I think that's to me, that's what's most appealing about it as a nature lover. It's sad to be in a city and in a place and you don't really get real trees or forest or growth. Or is that a fox? Or something else? But yeah, you don't. Sometimes it's just I want more trees. I'm glad of where I live because I'm right next to a forest. Right next to a river. Right next to a lovely, lovely place. Being too far away from nature makes me a little sad, I think. Huh. I don't know if I can read that. Is that To or is that Kyo? I think that's To. That doesn't say Tokyo, does it? I know it doesn't say Tokyo, but it says To. Oh, that's Kyo. So that is Kyo. That's Kyo. That character is Kyo. As in Kyoto. But I don't think the other one is Kyoto. So what is this place? Wait, is it Kyoto? It is Kyoto. Yeah, that says Kyoto. Kyoto, Japan. I recognized the first kanji. I didn't recognize the second one. I don't know what the last character is, but I'm assuming it's like the district marker, or there's a term, I don't remember. The Japanese is poor. I think of Kyoto when I think of Nintendo. Ryaru. Ryaru. I don't know what that is. And it says right there, Ryaru. Again. What's that? Porygon. Porygon. Wait, Polygon. Unless it's saying Porygon. Porygon. I mean, it's saying Porygon, but is that Porygon or is it Polygon? Maybe it's Porygon. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Sorry. Meh. God, I need to go back to studying Japanese because I'm realizing I don't remember. And kanji is always hard, and I just don't know enough of it to really read properly. Porygon. Oh, I'm just looking at the letters. That's Porygon. Porygon. And you don't, and sometimes you'd be surprised how many words are in katakana versus hiragana and what aren't. San. I mean, that's 3. San. That's all. That's the only kanji I know there. God, now I just want to go to Japan. Porygon. Meh? Maybe? Oh man, these are characters I even recognize. I just don't remember what they are. I should know these. I should, and I don't. It's been too long, and my kanji studies haven't been taken seriously whatsoever. It must be the location of this shrine, or this shrine. It must be this shrine, whatever it is. There's fucking shrines everywhere in Japan, which is obviously a notable thing, but... Why am I so tall? It just occurred to me that I'm very tall. Is this like an American and a Japanese location? The developer was like, yeah, I'm kind of tall, so this is what I saw. Matsuri. Something festival. Matsuri is festival. Celebration, or... I could guess just by the images, it might be like a sakura blossom festival, cherry blossom festival. Hey, Inuki? What's up? Yeah, but people always go, think Japan. But there's a lot of cool stuff there. You just have to also consider the bad stuff too. Especially if you wanted to live there. You can acknowledge the bad stuff and realize what's also not great there. Then I think there's no problem aspiring for a country that you think is nice. There's a thing people used to do called charcoal rubbings. In which you'd get a piece of paper and some charcoal and rub it on gravestone, and you get an etching, basically. Strange, but interesting. I've always wanted to give it a shot. I suppose I wouldn't want to do it with a stranger, because that seems maybe a little disrespectful. Maybe they would like it, I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't. It might depend on what they say. But I mean, you do typically do it with just anyone you see. And that might be more fun than doing it to someone I know who's died. That's much more sad. Yeah, in a shrine like this, don't walk the middle way, from what I remember. Not really. Unless it maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not getting it backwards, but you need to save room. Take a photo to unlock something new. All the photos. Nice. And what a big ass gate. Yeah, I mean, and besides, and I think people are like to, it's not just Japan, it's every country. They like to kind of I deify all these places and what, you know, the good parts about them. Of course, why wouldn't you? I see a place and I think, well, this is cool. Huh. A film camera. Well, I mean, if it's a film camera, I kind of wish I could take film. A video. But, you know, you do what you can. But yeah, I mean, there's obviously desirable aspects in every place and bad aspects. You just have to choose which ones you want. And I think the hardest part for me of moving, even if it was for a company and a job I loved and a place I loved, is meeting people and being accepted, especially if it's something really far away from where you are. Because sometimes there are just things you can't get over, but maybe partly get over. Sometimes not everyone's just willing to accept you. You might not find your people. And cultural differences will just make it a hell of a lot worse. Of course. Because I've considered some jobs I'd want, some of my dream jobs. Like, imagine if I got a job working for Nintendo as a developer. That's amazing. That would be fantastic, but go the right way. Hidari is left. I don't remember what right is, ironically. Long exposure. Measured in a second. So if I go up to like oh, I have to be moving, that's why. Long exposure can also be used in motion trails. Also, I like how I was just doing it blatantly wrong. Oh my god. ISO, go up. Or down, sorry. Oh, that is a long exposure. Oh, man. That's really fucked up. This image is gonna be fucking miserable, isn't it? Why did I choose 20 seconds? What's wrong with me? Like 3 seconds is much more reasonable. This is my masterpiece. I actually quite like it, truthfully. Ooh. Interesting. I'm not going to use it all the time, but I think it's fun. I would like to go to more countries. It's just expensive. I mean, right now would be a great time to go to Japan, as the yen's very weak. Which I know is a horrible thing to say, because obviously I'm sure they don't want their yen to be weak, but it's a matter of truth. Yeah, the yen is weak. So, if you have money to spend, go now and get your money's worth. Enjoy yourself to the fullest. There's nothing wrong with taking a trip alone, but I can't help but wonder. I would worry a little. For many reasons, but also it is a little lonely. And there's no one's right to judge, and I think my friends would want to go. It would just have to be the right time for them. Not that I can't do things on my own, of course. But it's one of those things where I don't want to do it alone. It would be more fun with friends. I've been on trips alone. And there's many, many things I'd like to do and like to see. And I'm not going to spend every waking second on a trip with the people I came with necessarily. But, you know. I know what it's like to do things alone. And I know that I do prefer it with people. Of course. I mean, that shouldn't be a surprise. I don't think anyone is going to find themselves shocked by a statement like that. But, no. I don't know, I think there's notable, I guess? I don't know. Did I enter from here? No, because that's the different Santa Cruz logo. Okay, one day I'll go. And if I end up falling in love with it, then great. And if I don't, then great. I talk about moving because I don't expect I'll live where I live now forever. Not that I can't, but if I find a job that takes me somewhere, then I might take it and go. There's a part of me that doesn't want to, because I love my friends. I dearly love my friends. Nobody wants to move and be alone again, but... You know, I don't want to just be that the reason for me to stop moving and going and doing things. Living your... I moved a couple times as a kid, so in my kind of expectation is that's what people do. You get a job, you go somewhere. You don't have to, but, you know. I guess in my mind, the expectation isn't that you stand still. You move. And I think it's almost a fear of, like, stagnation in my mind. Where I don't want to get stuck in the same thing forever. Part of me feels like, oh, it's been long enough. It's time for me to get going again. Need you... fucking... God, I don't know. 2009 something? I don't know. Oh, they're counting. I see that now. Numbers. What do they mean? Go through here? Guess not. Yeah, but I feel like it's more of a fear of I don't want every day to be the same. I don't want every year to be the same. I don't want to look back and 20 years have gone by and what's happened. So part of me feels like I should keep up that variety, keep doing things, changing things. Don't get stuck in a rut. Just silly. At some point, you can find a place to live. Stay there. You can find a thing to do and do it. And maybe if you have enough of an exciting career, it won't matter where you live or what you do. Maybe you'll get the chance to go and move anyways. And I guess that's what the famous people do, though. That's what celebrities get the chance to do. I'm not a celebrity or a famous person, so it's not the same. I feel like if I was here, I'd feel like I'd want to clean this. I'd want to have like a rag with me and just wipe some of this down. What lens would be good for this? No. I want it warmer. That's better. Nice. Ugh. But yeah, I mean, it's a silly thing. Again, I'm reading like some of these little manga romance stories I see. It's people living their ordinary lives in their 20s or in their 30s, and then their focus, among other things, is their relationship with someone that blooms, and that kind of takes over everything. And for me, I've always wondered if people are interested in that sort of a thing. How is that for them the most important thing? Does that for the person it's applicable for? Does that become for them the most important thing? Doesn't matter what you're doing. Doesn't matter how you spend your time. What matters is you're spending it with somebody. Even if 30 years pass and maybe you don't do much different. The difference is you're there with a person. I don't know. Again, I've never been in any kind of a relationship. Not really. It's almost a worry of mine, where I do like my independence, and I do like the things I do, to a degree. And I think I know myself enough to where if it does happen, I think that would become the priority. And it should, of course. But I just, in my mind, it's another person. People are important to me. Inherently. People are important to me over anything else, really. I mean, that's human nature. But I wouldn't be able to, like... all of my time and all my attention might go to that, and everything else might slip to the wayside a little bit. I suppose if that was the truth, I wouldn't... oh, there's a fly, sorry. Ow. I wouldn't regret it, necessarily. But there's a part of me that's like, oh, I'd have to stop doing some certain things. I'd have to give up my time. Odds are I would just use my time more efficiently. I'd like to do that anyways. I think that's part of the reason why I would like more freedom in terms of what I do. Which it would be nice if I was self-employed, or if I, you know, made my own schedule. If I was ever someone as fortunate as that, who had that luxury, who could make a lot and do their own thing, then the freedom and the time you have to spend with people is awesome, because it's your choice. Nobody wants to be stuck in a 9 to 5 in a normal day to day. I am. I feel like there's something here with this. There was another one I saw too. There must be some way of unlocking the locks. I mean, that's obvious. Nobody does. I don't think. Maybe some people are probably quite happy and satisfied, but obviously I'm not. So if given the chance, oh my God, this is gorgeous. Not the city. Not the, sorry, not the that's my favorite part about some of these things in Japan, is that it's so close to the city. I love that it's like, it feels like a very good fusion of nature and I mean, it's just not very big, so there's stuff everywhere. And you have this right next to residential areas and cities. That's very appealing to me. I mean, sometimes you do want to be really far away, but... oh, come on, you can go farther than that. I want to see you go farther. But yeah, I mean, I'd have to find someone and put that time and effort into it, and I haven't, because I'm a big old coward baby. Hello. I don't wish I took a photo. It's too late now. Nice. But yeah, I've always felt it was going to happen one day. I think more recently I've become more worried, but I think that's mostly because I've gotten older. I'm still 24, but I'll be 25 within a couple weeks. That is exactly the mid-20s, and I still haven't had a real relationship. And it doesn't happen. I mean, it can happen very late. But that does... I mean, as much as people might say it's fine. You know, my cousin didn't date till he was very, very late. But, you know, to me, I'm worried. I kind of can't help it. Because most people I know, and most people do tend to have some kind of relationships earlier. I can't help that I'm not just behind, but that you know, maybe I won't find anybody. And that's not true. I think I will, right? I think it'll happen when it happens. But I do have to put effort. I can't do, you know, nothing. Reset this. This is not... Too late. There we go. God, using a different lens can change everything. Obviously. Nice. Actually, I quite like that. It's fun. But yeah, I mean, I can talk about it more. I don't need to. But I hope I will find somebody one day. I've always felt like you shouldn't force it, obviously, with people. You should try to just find someone naturally, right? And try to meet people for them. For their own sake. Meet people to meet people. I mean, it's not like I'm trying to meet people to get into someone's pants. I want to meet somebody because I want to find... I don't know. Someone to spend my time with and for them to make them happier and for them to make me happier. It's hard to say. I don't know. I don't need a reason. And I'm obviously content enough on my own that it's not something that, like... I think there's this dialogue you hear a lot, and it's the truth. You shouldn't have somebody who, like, fixes you or anything. You should be okay on your own. You should complement each other. But they're not there to, like, make you better. As it were. And that's obvious, right? But for some people they feel like, all I need is this and I'll be okay. Like, I'm fine. I'm good. It doesn't mean I don't want somebody just because I'm like that. That's not the point. Damn it. There we go. Perfect. So we'll be lucky to have you. That's very kind to say. You sound like my mom. And my grandma. And probably some other people. Maybe you're right. Maybe. Who knows? I mean, everyone's what they seem on the surface level. Who knows where they go? I might be nice and lovely, but I might be super insecure and anxious and whatever. And that's always... And all that stuff is something whoever I'd end up with would have to deal with to some degree. And I think I'd be normal about it, or try to be. And I've always said it before, if you really wanted something to work without some serious incompatibilities, all you need to do is talk to each other. You need to set expectations with people. And you need to talk to them. Sounds obvious. Those are some of the biggest things. Manage your expectations about what you both want and how you can accommodate each other. And try. Talk to each other. Resolve issues. It seems so obvious. I'm sure in execution it's a lot harder. Everything seems obvious on the outset. Obviously. I want to go back to that. I want to go back to the actual... I didn't even go up to the real temple. I want to go back. I guess if I want to, I could use my powerful teleportation skills, but I think it's over here. No, but as I am someone who wants somebody. So I hope it happens. But at least for now I'm happy and I have friends. You know what? I think that's why I understand Cloud Strife. I get him. His mom's like, you need someone strong-willed. An older type. It's like, yeah, I think I agree. I think I need some help with this. I think I need someone older. I need someone to, like, call me on my shit. You know, it's funny. I see bamboo a lot. Oh, that was a photo. I didn't even realize. Sometimes I'm taking photos just because I like them. I'm not even realizing that they're the special ones. Bamboo, I mean, it grows shockingly quickly and easily. They propagate very well. So there's bamboo forests in Georgia, where I live. There was some in my school. I was like, yep, there's bamboo here. My school, my university had a lot. I had a very lovely garden. It felt like a secret, like a secret garden. It felt very. It's like it's just here. It's on campus. There's a little gate you can go into, and you can just walk freely. It's wonderful, and I feel like nobody knew about it. There's a lot of things like that. I was thinking about walking today and how much I like walking. I wrote... I was talking about writing earlier. I wrote a little something about it because I wanted to write a page or two. But when you're driving, you don't really feel like you're in... Something about this makes it look so goddamn real. Look at... That's crazy. What the fuck? What was I talking about? Walking versus driving. Driving, you don't really feel like you're in the space you're in. It feels like you're going through a location, but you're not in it. Because it occurs to me, I like having my window down when I drive. For a couple different reasons, and I won't go into all of them. Because I didn't always. I used to be petrified to have my window open. As I'm usually listening to music, and I didn't want people to hear it. Among other reasons. Now I mostly have it open. Often. And when you're going through a neighborhood, or something close to that, I guess I was here. Around that kind of area. Maybe there's some trees and some nice greenery. And the traffic slows, and you stop, and your window's open. You realize, I'm just on this ground floor. I could walk out and be right on this street and walk around. Someone could come up to me, they'd be right there. And it's like a revelation happens, where I'm like, oh yeah. I'm not on a road. This isn't a separate dimension. This is still the ground. This is still the earth. This is still a place. I can just get out and walk. And then it fades, right? Because I realize that, and I just go back driving and leave. But there is that aspect of like, wow, yeah, I am here, aren't I? It's so obvious. It's so silly to say. But you are connected to the world when you're in it. It's incredible how many things you don't realize you pass over. How many things you don't realize you miss when you're not walking. Pardon me, by the way. I realize I have to use the restroom really badly. Enjoy this quite lovely view for like a minute or two. I'm back. Yeah, this is a whole different vibe in this area. But yeah, driving, walking, very different. You just feel more connected to the world. Speaking of birds. Thank you. I was thinking about walking and driving earlier. I feel like I'm a weird person, but I kind of like fantasize in the daily day. That sounds a little wrong. Not dirty fantasies or anything like that, but it's more like I see people in things and I come up with my own little like short little story adventures in my head, I suppose. Where I talk to a person and I meet them and then we get along and we talk and something happens. You know, maybe we go on a little adventure. Oh, there's a lady stuck on the side of the road. I help her out. Or I give her a ride somewhere, and then I meet this person who's like, her dad makes me a tutor of some kind because he sees something, and then it starts leading into like I basically come up with my own little fantasy story of something. I can do that all the time. My brain is just a little overactive. You'd think I would write these things down, but they're not like they're the most amazing, stunning things ever, right? But actually, this area makes me, not just the beaches and the rocks, but maybe it's the orangey and then some of the brush and the trees makes me think of Texas. Or deserty. Scrublands. Not necessarily desert, but scrub. These kinds of bushes and stuff. I like that. I miss those. I miss that a lot. I love trees and forests, but there is some of this that I'm just like, I kind of miss. Southwest. But yeah, I do have an overactive brain sometimes when it comes to just thinking about things and stories and people. I mean, even people I know. I imagine conversations with people, talking to people, and then or how they talk. I imagine a topic and I talk to them, and and how they would respond and how I would respond, and in a back and forth. That happens all the time. I don't know if that's. I'm sure some people do that, and some people don't. Maybe it's. Everyone is different. But I can get lost in my own head pretty easily. Depending. Which is nice, I guess. These are some wonderful rocks. Again, because it's a game, I almost feel like I am not focused as much on it as I would be in the real world. But in the real world, I'd have to fucking climb all of this stuff. I'd really feel every rock. But yeah, I mean, you can't listen. You can always look at something closer. And the amount of detail you might see from something like that is insane. There we go. I don't know if that made any sense. In real life, looking at a thing. Like in this game, you can always look at something, but the detail starts diminishing after a while. It shows its fakeness. And I don't mean that as a complaint. We talked about it earlier, and how much more difficult it becomes the more detailed things become. Am I stuck? Yeah, I am stuck. What? Fuck, how have I found the one spot in the game that I can't move away from? How? How have I done this? I mean, if I really want to, I can just do this. Oh, never mind. There we go. So it's not a problem, but like, what the fuck? How did I do that? Dude, I GBJ'd myself in the real world. It's crazy. Yeah, as beautiful as this game is, on a macro level, on the micro level, which is what I kind of like a lot more, it's not obviously the same. It is still utterly gorgeous, this game. And I think it achieves what it sets out to do. As a photography simulator, for the most part. Minor flaws aside, it's gorgeous. But yeah, I don't think it wants you to look up close. It wants you to step back a bit. And just enjoy your surroundings, too. I think it looks the best when you... Funnily, I think it looks the best when you can stand still. really take it in. I don't think I like necessarily beach vacations, but I do like the beach. Or maybe I think I like the ocean and the waves. There's something comforting about it as much as anything. Oh, LUTs. I mean, I know what a LUT is. You can make them yourself. Post-process change brightness and darkness in image. White balance just as image color. I see. Okay. Ooh, that's... Yeah. Oh, God. Okay, so yeah, I actually know. I know what these represent now. I took me a second. I get it. Oh, interesting. I guess they function as real LUTs. You can put a LUT on a camera to automatically fill. I use LUTs on my camera right now. For example, actually for funsies. No. For funsies. If I go to my camera right now, this is what my camera normally looks like. This is normal. That's a different LUT. I can do both. Then it gets real. God, I'm in Saw or something, man. There's different ones, and they do different things. Basically, you're telling the camera what colors and lights to let through more of, and what colors and lights to let through less of. I think I have even more somewhere. If I look at... I have more. How do I do this? Oh, it's the top. And there's some default ones that OBS comes with, like that. Or grayscale. Or this. Oh my god. Or this. Which is just this again. Or this, which only lets in like teal, orange. I think this only lets through red or parses out red. I don't know. Also, I'm realizing I just occurred to me I'm using this on top of my other LUTs. That's why they weren't showing correctly. Program OB. Okay, here, there it is. I was like, where is the location of this one? There, it's in videos. I see. So I have a lot of spaces on my goddamn computer. I don't even know where everything is. I'm curious what other ones I have. You can make them in DaVinci Resolve if you're really dedicated enough. But I don't even know if I know where they all are. Ooh, there's this one, which is really strange. It's not that strange. Again, you can also adjust the amount. And none of these I have 100% because they start looking weird. But if I wanted to like to pop out the green, like in the shirt I'm wearing, I could do this. I might keep this one for right now, actually. This one looks quite nice. Sorry, interrupting things, but you know. Just to showcase some small stuff. And I use a shitty webcam. I don't use a real camera. I don't have a DSLR for my stream setup. And not in general, but for my stream setup, so. That would be cool to have one. Whether I really need it, though, is probably it's probably unnecessary for what I actually need to use it for, but it would still be fun. Huh. Huh. I don't even know where to go here, man. Like, this is a strange... I guess, is there a path? There might be a path over here. It's hard to tell. Part of me wants to just walk wherever, but I can't really... That's not this kind of game. This ain't no open world game. Kind of close, though. Here we go. I mean, I'm not going to stream for too much longer. It's almost been 2 hours or so. Hey, what the hell? A campfire over here? What is this? Honestly, this would freak me out. This would freak me out just due to the fact that, like, who else is here? You know? In my head, it's like, okay. Nobody else should be here. So I think I'm alone. No, I'm serious. If you go to it, listen. That's one of the freakiest things in any place that has people is... Or that doesn't have people. If you're exploring. It is seeing signs of life and signs of recent life. I know that's a ridiculous statement to make, but it's the truth. I mean, it's scary when you're alone, but it's even scarier when you're not alone and you weren't expecting it. You don't know who they are, where they come from, what they're like. If they're dark or something, you know, you don't know. You don't know anything. Could be a homeless person. It could be, depending where you're exploring. It could be anything. Not that they're evil creatures, but they're strangers. And listen, I'm scared of, like, acting normal in public. You think I'm not scared of people? Hey, yo, some guy's got his fucking piggies out here, man. Cover those bad boys up. That's all I'm saying. Good caustics. Not the best water physics, but good caustics. If a little, like, not perfectly realistic. Free the grippers. Can I actually? Oh. I was expecting to be much farther out. Oh my goodness. You know, I've actually ridden one of these things. Not like a surfboard, but one of the boards with the paddle. But you can just, like, crouch on it and paddle around. But I managed to do it where I could stand up. Both feet planted. It kept my balance. It took ages, and I got it. I was very proud of myself. And it was like... Because you have to keep your balance. And despite the fact that it is also wet. But also keeping your balance to where you don't just fucking fall over as you're pushing yourself around. It just took practice. I wanted to do it again. It was fun, actually. I mean, I've been canoeing and kayaking before. It's not a universal experience, but I went to summer camp as a kid. Where we did those kinds of things. And it's funny, because it wasn't a sleepaway camp, which I think is everyone's traditional idea of a summer camp. But it was close enough. We didn't stay there overnight. But we would get dropped off very early in the morning and go home pretty late at night. For weeks and weeks and weeks. And it had pretty much everything else. It had a big head cabin, a big house. It had, a deep, wonderful forest, and it had a lake. You had kayaking, you had canoeing, you had capture the flag. I think we had archery. We had, everything. I mean, we had very typical everything you would expect from a summer camp. And it was very fun. Every little event, and then sometimes we had trips to locations as well. We'd get on the bus, we'd go somewhere. It was great, and it must have not have been too expensive, I don't think. It was part of the time when my mom and dad still had to work, and they couldn't leave us at home. They wanted us to have a summer and do stuff. But we couldn't go on vacation, because it was expensive at the time, so we just... summer camp. And other stuff, too. And there were summers where we didn't do much at all. I don't even know if we did summer camp. There was a period of time, obviously, in the mid-2000s, late, getting to the 2010s, there was some bad recession. And things costed a lot. But my mom and dad tried very hard for me and my sister to make things seem fun. Which I love and respect. And my parents weren't perfect, and they did a lot of and they did make some mistakes. Some notable ones. But they really and earnestly tried for our sakes in a lot of ways. And they really care for us and still love us. And I'm very lucky for that. Even beyond some of the mistakes and some of the really in the rough patches I've had with some of my parents. I still can say I'm very lucky in that aspect. And parents don't always know what they're doing, but they're trying. It kind of sucks, but, you know, they do the best they can with the knowledge they have when they have you. And hopefully they get better at it over time. I suppose I'm just lucky that my parents are good people. For the most part. Not even for the most part. I think actually, I do think they're good people. Just in generally speaking, they're good people. So regardless of if things got rough, or if I ever got yelled at once or twice, or a couple times, or whatever, or, you know, or things were tense, it was, in the end, I always, you know, at least I could look back now and think, and come to the realization that they cared a lot for me. But yeah, summer camp was great. Honestly, very fun. I've mentioned it before, but I feel like if we did an adult summer camp, it's all the same activities. You know, archery shouldn't just be for kids. Come on. Any of that stuff any adult would have a lot of fun with, I think. You know, it shouldn't just be for kids. Like, hell, man. I would do any of that stuff today and have a great time. I would love playing capture the flag with some friends in the woods. Are you kidding me? I don't care what age you are. So I almost wonder if they did that. If it was like a trip, vacation. You get a week. You take. I mean, obviously, that's the trick as an adult is, could you ever get a time off to do that just for yourself? But that's an experience that would be quite fun, I think. I wonder if it would do well. Of course, it could be, you know, other countries have more vacation time. I always think it's funny whenever I see people in the UK, they always seem to be going on holiday. Sorry, as they say. I was trying to think of the term they use. Not going on a vacation. They go on holiday. They go a lot because they can and because it's normal for them. Or at least to me, it seems like a lot. Well, this isn't fucking creepy in the slightest. My grandpa had tape. My dad has video of him and his family younger. Because my grandpa had a video camera. VHS video camera recorder. Which not everyone did. And I think my dad was like, he had videos of himself skateboarding. Back in the 80s or 80s. Him and his friends with like a little deck they had built in their street. I think my dad had told me he'd showed his friend. I don't think he said his friend cried, but his friend got really emotional over it because, you know, video of yourself as a kid, if you don't realize that exists and you see it and you remember that and you haven't seen it for years and years and years and years, or, you know, not even knowing that exists, that I imagine that would be very impactful. Obviously, we're lucky now, and I'm lucky now that there's so many photos of me as a kid. I'm sure there's tons of videos of me as a kid of different ages. I just have to find them. But, you know, I grew up in a time where everyone had a camera. I mean, even more so now. I mean, my dad had a camera because he liked cameras. But then, of course, with the advent of smartphones, at a certain point in my life, the cameras became everywhere. And not just because my dad had a camera. You know, people weren't going to grow up not knowing that, or not, you know. They're always going to know who they were and how they were at different periods of time. For better or for worse. It's an interesting thing, I think. Yeah, but because of summer camp, I did do things like kayaking, and it's very fun. I don't think of myself as outdoorsy, but I think I underestimate. Because when I picture outdoorsy, that's people going outside every weekend. And going hiking and planning all these big trips. But I also think I overestimate how many average people just don't go outside at all. So I'm a good medium. I'm a good middle ground, like I am at everything. I like to think of it as the perfect balance, but someone might disagree. Hey, this was nice. This was a good stream. It was a strange way to cap off the day, but it was kind of a weird day for me anyways, truthfully. Strange week. I'm not in a bad mood. Maybe a more weird one. Yeah, but this is quite nice and relaxing. It puts you in a very specific mood, and that's the intent, right? With the music and the visuals and the rest, that's kind of the whole point. I mean, it does a good job of capturing what I think of my own little time doing stuff like this. Obviously, I'm speaking more, but like, just look at this. I mean, that just looks amazing, doesn't it? On that macro level, that looks beautiful. But I think it's time to end it. I mean, there seems to be actually a decent amount of content in this game in terms of stuff to do. I'd say it's not very expensive. It's on sale right now. It's only, I think it's normally like $13, $14, which is not nothing. It is not like a $5 game, but this was a lot of effort. And it's on sale right now for $10, $11, I think. Yeah, I had followed it for a while, so I had to say it is exactly what I expected, which is a good thing. Yeah, it was fun. Because if it's not fun, why bother? I should be back tomorrow. With what? I don't know. I might be FF7. I might just start doing some side quests or stuff. Because I think that's what yeah. And I might be back Sunday. It depends on what time I get back. Easter and all that. Which surprised me. I forgot it was coming. But yeah, but I should do stuff tomorrow, the next day. Presumably. And if I don't, then... Whoa. But thanks for watching. Have a good night, everybody. Enjoy the weekend. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.